go. Hey Instagram, it's me, T, from the Pattersons, taking the train to Tibet. Well, I finished it. Well, it took only, when I started it on Sunday. What's today, Thursday? Well, that's the normal run. Usually I start on Tuesday. Well, it doesn't matter. See, I got another draft of a Gonzalez, and I found a new word. The word is exurban. Exurban. I would tell you what it means, but then I'd be doing the work. I'd be doing your work. You got to find out what it means. I'll spell it for you. Because this is funny. I told you before I started writing poetry, call it poetry. I'm a wordsmith, really. I started writing in 1971 because I couldn't spell. Well, I could spell, but I couldn't spell, right? So I started writing poetry so I'd learn words and blah, 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 blah. Okay. Round about 71, and then round about, I had several internships in my life. One of the internships I had, before I had the internship I had as in my field, in community, I had an internship. I had an internship in communications, but that happened in 7 days, 9, 10, 7 days, 7 days. Got out of the Air Force in 74, about 75, right? But before that, I was taking extension courses from Trenton State College, right? That was when I was in the Air Force. So let's say about 1973, right? And one of the things I took is a course in journalism, actually. It was So I had a little internship at the Trenton Times, a newspaper out of Trenton, New Jersey, right? Again, I couldn't spell. Well, this is early on. So there was a guy, you work in the newsroom. I was working in the newsroom, and I was interning. There was this guy, one of the old journalists right there, had a desk and all the rest of that stuff. For some strange reason, I had a typewriter. I had a typewriter with it. I said, how do you spell blah, blah? He said, I don't know if I know how to spell it, but I know where to find it, right? And he turns around, picks up a dictionary, and looks it up. There's a problem with that, though. So he could give me no, he looked it up and told me, it says C, blah, blah, blah. Okay. There's a problem with that. If you don't know how to spell it, then how are you going to look it up? But here, in the modern day and age, I don't do this, but I should do this. Modern day and age, if you know how to say it, then you can just say it into the dictionary. Here's a sunrise. Hey, just a second. Okay, everybody, the sun has risen. By the way, this is a grand rising report. Forgot to say that. Right? So here's what we do. We take a jab breath, then we take another short breath in, and then we breathe out. Here we go. Welcome to the new day. This is your grand rising report. I report to you on spelling. Okay. In modern day days, you're just talking to your phone, if you know how to say it, right? And then it'll give you a thing. That's sort of cheating. No, it's not cheating. This is a modern world, what you say. But I'm not going to do that. I'm going to give you the spelling. Then you're going to have to, I already told you it's called exurban. I say exurban like that. I could be saying it wrong. So you can talk into your device after you finish listening to me. You can put this on pause, whatever you're going to do. You can say in your device, and then you will find out what it is. But I'll spell it for you. For those you old school people, even you ancient school people, some of the ancient school, then you can, write the word, as I spell it, you write it down, then you find a dictionary. I have a real big dictionary back in DeBrother, a huge dictionary. I got from Sikaleta. He had a house. I was housing for him. This was in Cape Town. It's in Power Valley. Had a house. He had a house full of books. Man, I was reading. Man, I read so much of it, and I actually took it. He had so many books. I took that dictionary with me. This fat, big, not that quite. At least, like this, like this fat dictionary, like that. He wasn't using it. He's using that thing as a store. Anyway, so I got it. Anyway, here's how you spell a word. Exurban. Remember, the Latin Quintuplets has to be less than seven letters. Exurban. So, and I do the Tamil way is you use the digits, right? So say EX. Just a second. EXURBAN. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. See, 7 letters. See? EXURBAN. They use the digits instead of the fingers, right? So that's 7 letters. So that's 7 letter word in that line right there. Again, look it up. It's a good word. I like the word, right? And it fits this. Maybe tonight I'll read, I'll finish, I'll do. Somehow I'll read, like I usually do, take the whole thing. Okay. So that was good. I'm very satisfied, I've been fat. Oh, let me look at something else. There's something in the thing here. Check this out. Look, the writing is going extremely well, Now, I write this quintuplets every week, but I do also write some other stuff that I'm plotting in my head. Sometimes I write in my head for a long time before I write it out. But all this is leading to something. This is leading to, I'm going to keep on, this is leading to September. Well, beyond September. But there's going to be a blip in September because that's when they have this reparations conference in Addis Ababa. In Ethiopia, right? And it's like the African Union and the CARICOM, the Caribbeans and the Africans get together for this reparations conference. Of course, the diaspora is always involved. The diaspora, we could just do their diasporic thing and just bum rush. No, you don't have to bum rush. They said we can come to that. So that's where I'm going. To go there, I want to be presenting. I don't know how, where, how, why, when. I got to contact. So I'm planning now. And this stays in my brain like every day. I want to, how do they say the word? I'm going to manifest. First thing you're going to know, because as soon as I get a ticket, I'm going to say, got it, right? By that time, I have all that stuff done, right? Anyway, so how I say, logistically, well, that has to happen, but also, I'm writing a lot because it's going to lead to some things, right? Namely, probably a couple of audio dramas. We'll see what happens. We'll talk about that later. Okay, here we go. So now, that's creatively, I got to do that, right? But I got to get my body together. That's what I'm still working on now. That's why I'm here in Oral, in India here. Getting my body together is coming along pretty good. Very good. I say very good. I got a session with my healer in a little while. And, but there's a thing called beast milk or muscle milk. I wrote lion's mane. Water, 140 degrees. Oh, low heat. Oh, you heat it on 114 degrees, low heat. I don't know these degrees. I just put on low heat, right? And these are the ingredients. You have walnuts. I got a crusher for that. Macadamia nuts. That's interesting. Ashwagandha. Got that. The mocha powder. I know that. I can get that, right? And nettle seed. I got the tea. I'll try to find it. If I can't find the seed, I just use the tea. Well, I got to start someplace until I get the seed. And you crush it up, right? And then you get what they call a cheesecloth, and you squeeze and get the liquid out. And then you're supposed to drink that, and that helps muscle thingy. So I'm gonna get that. All I need is the mocha powder and the got the ashwagandha and the macadamia nuts. That's all I need. I got all the other ingredients. Oh, and a cheesecloth. I got the thing. 1 equals something. I can't even read my own writing. 1 teaspoon. Or a teaspoon of ashwagandha. Look, I just put stuff in there. Oh, I shouldn't say that. I just put stuff in there. I usually don't follow ingredients. Well, I follow ingredients, but proportions, Like, see, I'm what they call. See, I'm not a cook. I'm not a chef. I'm not a whatever those highfalutin thing is. I'm a preparer. Portions are correct. I'm a preparer. So I got to get this down. Anyway, that's all I want to tell you this morning. That's right. I finished the thingy, Grand Rising report. I'm reporting to you, right? I'm gonna work on I'm gonna try to get today. I'm trying to get the the beast milk or muscle milk, whatever they calling that, right? And that's it. And as usual, I'm having every single day. I'm gonna remind you, there is a global reparations conference in Ethiopia. And that's going to be in September. I got the dates, but so every day I'm trying to manifest it. That this is the most important conference I would have ever gone to in my entire conference going life, and I've been to a lot of conferences. False Reparations is sponsored by CARICOM and African Union. This is good because we got to leave the diaspora, especially. I shouldn't say that. We got to leave that out of it. They're not a sponsor, but make your presence known. Be there, or as I say, be rectangular. Talk to you later.